Welcome to Yaka Digital Network videos. The modern Middle East is defined by intense sectarian polarization and violent proxy warfare. This instability grew out of a century-long struggle to integrate diverse populations into states with artificial borders. The path to the current crisis happened in three distinct phases: the imposition of European colonial borders, the collapse of secular pan-Arab movements, and the geopolitical shocks of 1979 and 2003. To understand how this timeline unfolded, we have to rebuild the geopolitical map of the Middle East, starting from its demographic bedrock. By tracing this physical and ideological geography, we can see exactly how traditional state sovereignty slowly eroded into the modern era of transnational conflict. Before the modern states existed, the post-Ottoman Middle East was a complex demographic mosaic. It was a mixed population of Sunni, Shia, Kurdish, Christian, and Druze communities sharing the same geography. Following World War I, the League of Nations mandate system laid Western-drawn borders directly over those existing demographics. The process mirrored the colonial borders drawn during the scramble for Africa, which ignored local realities in places like Uganda. The immediate consequence was that diverse and historically rival communities were grouped into single national identities, while unified, contiguous groups were suddenly split apart. The most prominent example of this division is the Kurdish population. They remain the world's largest stateless ethnic group. Take a moment to locate the Kurdish demographic zone on the map, fractured across the boundaries of four separate modern nations. Because these states lacked natural internal integration, their governments almost universally relied on heavy-handed, centralized authoritarian rule to prevent national fragmentation. By the 1950s and 60s, regional leaders attempted to bypass these artificial divisions through pan-Arabism, a secular, anti-colonial movement aimed at achieving regional unity. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser emerged as the primary architect and champion of this pan-Arab vision. His 1956 nationalization of the Suez Canal cemented his status as a heroic figure, demonstrating that a united Arab front could resist Western imperialism. However, the dream of political union failed due to economic rivalries and conflicting national interests. The Arab-Israeli conflict served as a stress test for this nationalism, beginning with the 1948 partition and the resulting displacement of Palestinian refugees. During the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel decisively defeated the combined armies of Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. This military defeat shattered the credibility of the secular Arab nationalist regimes. The failure of state armies forced a shift in resistance, giving rise to independent Palestinian nationalism led by the PLO. Because secular pan-Arabism failed to deliver either economic prosperity or military victory, it created an ideological vacuum that allowed for the rise of political Islam. The 1979 Iranian Revolution altered the Middle East's ideological landscape. A pro-Western, secular monarchy was successfully overthrown and replaced by a theocratic Islamic republic. This event proved that religious populism could successfully dismantle a modern state, shifting the primary mode of resistance away from secular nationalism. Iran immediately adopted a strategy of projecting power beyond its borders by positioning itself as the leader of oppressed populations and the champion of Shia Islam. They achieved this through the creation and funding of non-state proxy actors, most notably Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran aggressively exported this ideological revolution directly into the streets of neighboring nations. This expansion deepened sectarian rifts between Sunni-led Arab states and the new revolutionary regime. Saddam Hussein feared the revolution would incite Iraq's Shia majority against his Ba'athist government, leading him to launch the Iran-Iraq War. The 1979 revolution established a potent religious ideology and the proxy network required to bypass traditional state borders. Prior to 2003, Saddam Hussein's Sunni-dominated Iraq served as a geopolitical wall that largely contained Iranian expansion. The final catalyst for modern instability was the 2003 US-led invasion of Iraq. Coalition policies dismantled the Ba'athist government and dissolved the Iraqi army, destroying the existing state apparatus. These policies empowered Iraq's Shia majority, handing political control to factions with deep ties to Tehran. The primary geopolitical barrier to Iranian influence had been removed. With the collapse of central authority, a power vacuum opened, leading to a brutal sectarian civil war in the streets of Iraq. This violence resonated outward, transforming regional politics into a zero-sum game between Sunni-aligned and Shia-aligned factions. By removing Saddam Hussein, the 2003 war demonstrated the fragility of the old states and turned Iraq into a staging ground for both Iranian proxies and radical extremist groups. The Middle East has transitioned from an era of state-on-state rivalries to one dominated by transnational sectarian proxy warfare. Current conflicts now operate largely independently of the national borders established a century ago. The structure of this violence rests on two historical pillars. 1979 created the proxy network and ideology, while 2003 removed the primary obstacle blocking its expansion. Current conflicts in Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and Iraq are now filtered through this polarized competition between Tehran and its regional adversaries. Ultimately, the artificial nature of post-World War I mandates created profound obstacles to national integration. This structural fragility left state sovereignty vulnerable to the transnational forces dominating the region today. You can watch more videos for all classes here and get all content at www.yaka.cc.